The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Hi everybody, welcome to the weekly Noyantis Usergroup meeting. Today the 27th of July 2020, and just making sure that I've got my screen turned on. For some reason it's not giving me the option. There we go. Hopefully you can see the screen. Okay, what shall we do? We'll start with updates as we normally do. There's been a CodeDoc update. 19.2 is available, and we should have really got the updates out by now. Those updates will go out. I won't say later today. You might see them later today. If not, then they'll be tomorrow morning. So glad to report they're more or less ready. We were investigating a funny. Just got to get to the end of that, and then the updates will be up. Installers will be built, and the updates will be available. So that's a general release for all of the templates. So that's the 19.2 compatibility. Another update which will go out is the report control. Now, it had been reported after the last release, which was 4.16. It was reported that in the browser enhancer for legacy, there was an issue regarding it calculating the correct number of rows. Now, Alex is here. I'll just check if Alex has got his mic. Just 1 second. Hi, Alex. Have you got a microphone?
Okay, yeah. Hello, I'm here.
Hi, Alex. Okay. So I know it was you who's been pushing for this, waiting for this, but yeah, hopefully this will demonstrate. So this is a legacy application. It's a test app, so it looks ugly. So ignore the UI, but yeah, basically I just wanted to make sure that it was recalculating the correct rows. And that depends on font and line height and a few other properties that Clarion uses to calculate how many records it can put in a browse compared to the report control, because the two are different. So now I thought it was all fixed. Alex highlighted a particular issue regarding after a resize event, just for the legacy. The ABC didn't. The ABC browser enhancer didn't suffer from it, but the legacy did. So if we go to this now, as I say, ignore the actual content. It's a very ugly screen, but it's more for me to do some debugging. So this particular window is set to open maximized, which of course it's done. And we can see the Clarion list. This is in dev mode, so I can see what's going on in the Clarion list behind the scenes visually. Normally you would only see the scroll bar, but I can see it's got 22 records loaded, so our report control reflects the 22. We resize, then it's got 8 rows loaded, so our report control has reloaded accordingly. And if we just try and bring it down a tiny bit, it's still 8. And it's still 8 until the point where it can just about get to the 9. So if it thinks it can display 9, oh, that's a resize. That's not me. Don't worry, that's Clarion. But you can see if it thinks it can get to 9, that's just what it's done. The Clarion one's got 9 in it, so the report control has reflected that. If I make it a little smaller, and it's back to the 8. So now it will take the resize events into account and load accordingly. And I think that was mainly the issue you was getting, was it not?
Yes, that was one of the issues. My thing that kept coming up is when I was painting the window.
No, you don't do any painting. That's literally just like the resize. They have a Clarion resizer, or you can use CapeSoft, or you can use Mike Hansen's resizing templates. But just have something to do the resizing, and then you don't need no embed code at all. So don't do it.
Okay, 1 second, real quick. If I'm painting, let's say the window's maximizing and there's panes, and I'm doing the browse enhancer inside the pane.
As long as you got resizing, then that's fine. It all goes
Okay,
on
do
the
I need
resize event.
resizing, or does the pane like take care of the resizing?
Well, the pane will,
Or
if it's a hosted window, but ultimately you still need
no,
to
not a
have.
host window, just one window that has the pane and then loads the, and that has a browse enhancer in that window. So I'm not painting windows, just the control.
Right. Okay. So that's the resize. Okay. Technically, I'd have to check that, but yes, it should do. From a resize point of view, yes, because it should detect that it's been resized and recalculate accordingly. Because really, that's where the issue lay. It was because the number of rows we've got from the Clarion's point of view, this could calculate more because that screen is of one particular font, which meant it could calculate a particular line height, which would potentially give you more rows, hence why you was getting phantom records down at the bottom. And when you went to the bottom to scroll, you was basically scrolling onto a valid record, but not visible. That was the issue, and so on. And that's that's what we've been tackling. And this will give you the fix to that. So it recognises that there's been a resize and basically does it accordingly. Ties that back to that. So this thinks, look at the report control, because it's that what's driving it. The report control is ultimately a different font and so on and so forth. And that's what you're seeing. So it takes that size into account. It knows how many it can see. So it can see, I'll just go to the top and make it easier. It knows it can show 10 rows there. Okay. So whether it's, you've got it in the pane, that's fine, but it still goes off its height. So it knows it can see, it can visibly show 10. Okay. So you will see it quickly reload. So if we go down to there, that's great. You see the 11 and 12. Now, what you'll see if I make this a little smaller, I'm going to make it so 12 disappears. You'll see the 12 appear, but then it recalculates itself because what it does is, and this is all to do with legacy, it has to tell Clarion to only show 11. So it has to reset the Clarion because that's the driving force behind the actual data. So if I make that smaller, and you saw the 12, and then you saw the 12 disappear. And that's because, to get technical, it can show fully 11. Clarion, at its previous line height and font and so on and so forth, could load as many as it needed, so on and so forth. So what we actually do is we have to trick Clarion to say, no, go and reset, but we change these attributes first to only show a possible 11 rows. And then when that resets, it reloads back into the report control. So again, we go bigger, it puts the extra rows in. That's brilliant. We go smaller, make the 13 disappear. The 13's there and then it disappears. And that's because it can't fully show that 13. It's only visible because I'm only going to show you the full rows. So you don't end up with basically like a part row, if you will, just a few pixels of the next row. So to answer your question, you'll be fine because it all goes off. It all goes off the height of the report control because that's visible what you see. If I turn dev mode off, which I could do in a second, all you would see here is just the scroll area. That scroll would appear here. So tell you what, we'll quickly do that. There. And there's debug in this, but ultimately there's no embed code. So that was some old embed code, but it's commented. You can see it's not there. So there's no manual code going in on this. All I need to do just comment that out, do a quick recompile. Okay, and there's our row. So it knows, and there's the thing and the scroll. That is because it's a browse enhance, and especially because it's a legacy browse enhance or a page loaded browse enhance, you are seeing the Clarion browse here, and that allows you to control the actual navigation, if you will. But visually, you think you're looking at the report control, like so. and we scroll down, and of course we get the rows just what we want. Okay, so visually you're looking at the report control. It looks at the client area of the report control. So I'm just going to scroll here because it's just easier to see the number. We can see here where the client area is from that corner down to this corner. It knows, it calculates what's being used font wise and so on and so forth, and row height within the report control, and divides basically the height by how many pixels are required per row. And it says, okay, I know I can get the integer value of it is 22. I can get 22 full rows in there. So it then has to modify the equivalent of the prop line height within Clarion, so that basically Clarion can only load 22 rows into its report control, sorry, into its browse. It loads the 22 via a reset, and then after the reset, that data is then used to load the report control content. If that makes sense. So we can see we resize there. So you will see a record disappear, and that's because that's just how the actual mechanism works. You're seeing what the data was before, and then you see it reset. So we go there, and there you can see 9, 10, 11, and we should probably fit 12, and I can probably try and make another couple. No, not quite. There you go, 14, so we can fit the 14. All very good. If I was to go smaller, then you can see it disappears, and so on. And that's basically that's what we're after. Okay.
So you think if the way you have it now, if that control, the enhancer is in a pane, then it should automatically resize.
As long as that control resizes. Okay. So for example, let me go on to here, and I'm just going to do a button. No, not that actually. Let's just put a button here, and I'm going to say height. Oops, height 10. Height plus 10. Okay. And what I'm going to do with that is I'm going to change the height of the browse enhancer. Now, I don't want you doing any embed code. You don't need to. That's the whole point of this. As long as you've got some kind of control to resize the something to resize. So if you think the docking pane, like say pane, that's resizing the visual report control, that should work for you. That kind of thing. Okay. Just let me remind myself of what it's using to resize, because it basically uses a box, and I can't remember. Yeah, and yeah, it's probably the box. Yeah, the OCA box equals that box. Set related list. Yeah, it's got its box. Okay, so I think it'll be that. So I'm going to do something like prop height equals prop height plus 10. And we'll try this in a pane in a second. Okay.
Okay, thanks.
Method external. Why are we in method external? What? When did that change? Okay.
This might be one of those times when closing and opening Clarion might work.
I have my little batch file instead. So I have a little cleanup batch file, which basically does it. Does. Okay. So, okay, that's our list 10. No, it didn't change. Tell you what, we'll skip that. Let's go straight to the docking pane. It's already on there. Okay. We've got docking panes on here. Okay. You have a pane on the left and the pane on the right. Something like that.
Yeah. But it doesn't have to be that, just the proof of concept that even if it's one pane, that when the window maximizes, and then, the whole browse takes the shape of the pane, that's where I was having trouble, where it wasn't, it wasn't coming up to that right size. Because as I found out, once the pane is drawn, it's not so easy, am I correct, to find out what is the actual height or width of the actual pane?
That's correct, yeah.
That's
I've got lots of junk on there, so we've got our panes there. Fine, I want to see that. Move that over there so at least I can see it a little more. Okay.
Okay, I see what's going on. Same things for me. We're talking about the right side, the right pane there, right?
Yeah.
On the right. Yeah, you see how it didn't size to the size of the window, or to the size of the actual pane.
Right. Okay. Okay. So that's the one that's being hosted. Right. Oh, sorry, just 1 second. Sorry, just 1 second. Sorry about that. Just phoned afterwards. Right. Okay. Right. Yeah, it's going to catch 22. We need the handle of what's visible, e.g., the report control, but what's being we need to look at what's being sized. That's not being sized because basically that's the number of rows you get in there, if you will. This that's it's not that. They put it back in dev mode. 1 second. Okay, just trying to see where I can see the actual Clarion one. Okay, let me check into that. Basically, the original Clarion, that's not being seeing the size of it. It's being synced against something different. Okay, leave that with me.
Try a few ways to manipulate it where like a few times I've gotten where I can get it to sort of snap into the right place, where I basically unmaximize and I ran a few, redraw, commands and all that. And a couple times I got it to snap, but I could never really, reproduce it accurately all the time. So there's a way to do it. I feel like, it's possible for sure,
Well,
but
it's
it's
just
been eluding me, Andy.
it's what it uses to detect the size change, basically, because we can't
Yeah, and I
use.
tried posting like event size, and then that kind of stuff too.
Right.
But could
Okay.
never get it
Well,
right.
I'm on the report control, so I was going to that'll just hold up the release of the tool, but that's fine. That's fine. I'll just finish that off. It's all to do with the detection of the resize. Better actually on that. Just let me we'll take off just so
I
I
mean,
can
I
see
would
what we're doing.
super appreciate it if you could get that to work. That would be just awesome.
Okay. Well, basically, it's gonna. Where are we? Let's just go off that and go back on. And but I'm going to use a positioned. Okay, so something along the lines of this. That's a positioned report control docking pane. Don't particularly want that one. I put it on there to make sure for some coding. Okay, so I'm going to have that there. Like I said, this is a positioned docking pane instead of a docked docking pane. Same again. I'm going to have a couple of panes. Pane left. I'm not really bothered. That literally wants to be fine. 200, 1000. That's not even that. 100, 1000. And pane right. Just might be easier that the repaint a second ago was all over, so it might just be easier to see. But that's fine. Let's take a look. That's there. Leaves me to see what's going on elsewhere, you know.
Okay.
Okay. It still thinks it's at that height. Very strange. Okay. Yep. Let me look at that. Okay. No problem.
I appreciate that, Andy. Thank you.
Okay. While we're on the report control, but I'm going to go off that. I'm going to go on to one of the others, including this in the next build. Again, it'll affect. Sorry, it's for all the report controls. If you're using the browser enhancers, then it won't really affect those because they have their own mechanism for this. But what I was playing about with is, I'll show you for an instance how it came about. I always seem to use this, but we'll just use it again. So we've got multiple report controls, and I use them for things like related data, things like that. So let me bring up, there you go, particular patient. Okay, I've got Mr. A test, that's fine. And these are associated down here. So I've got a report control here with some appointments on. I've got a report control with alerts on, and so on. So basically, I've got related information to a record up here, all in report controls. Now, what you've got in Clarion is we've got our reset fields, and Clarion's got Clarion browsers and so on have got reset fields. We've got reset fields, so there's no problem. But Clarion also has the ability to not reset a particular Clarion browse when it's not visible, and so on. And the report control doesn't have that and that's basically it's just told to reset when required. So you would normally have some kind of parent ID, probably the record ID of the record up here, so you can see as you're switching around. You get the resets of the related report control. But it was resetting both the appointments, the appointments and the alerts and the correspondence and the attachments and the medication. So basically you was ending up with a lot more loads when you really didn't need to. So you've got a property in Clarion called Active Invisible in the Clarion browse, and you can say basically by default it's off, so it doesn't go and reset other lists, if you will, when they're not visible. What you've got coming in the next one, I'll just choose, doesn't really matter. You've got a couple of new options on the reset. So if we come across, just waiting for it. Yep, so columns, resets. So there's your reset fields, which you already had. But now you've also got two new options. Reset on gain focus and reset on gain visibility. And what we mean, well, gain focus is just gain focus. Personally, I have that turned off. Don't like it. But I know for legacy, the standard like behavior for legacy browsers is when the window regains focus, then it resets the content and so on. So we've given you that that option. So basically, going here, bringing up another window to go and gain focus, and then going back to here would cause the gain focus event. So you've got a reset on that, so that will automatically refresh the contents, and the same on the gain visibility. Now what we mean by that is the appointment report control is visible, but the alert, the correspondence, the attachment, medication isn't, because they're on other tabs. If we switch to that tab, that becomes visible, and of course the appointment one loses its visibility, and so on and so on. So basically, it's a bit like the active invisible, if you will. So so you can just turn that on, and the change behavior now is that's turned on by default, and the loading will only actually occur if it thinks it's visible. Okay. So if it's not visible, it won't go and load the data, which is the kind of default, the default of Clarion, and that's really what you want. If I come into here, and this particular patient has got a load of appointments, a load of alerts, a massive correspondence history, and a few attachments and medication, you don't want to be loading lots of records and so on. So it's really an efficiency setting, but you would want to realistically use it in your applications. So that's coming in the next build. Wow, okay. So report control took a little longer than expected. Any questions on what we've just covered there? No? Okay, that's good. Okay, so Michael's got a question. Let's go to Michael. Where are you, Michael? Open up the mic. Do you have a microphone? Said you are self-muted.
Hello, Andy.
Oh, hi. How are you doing?
Fine. How are you?
Yes.
I have two questions for calendar.
Mm-hmm.
I have a custom reminder window. I want to have a button for print the today reminders. How can I do this?
Print the daily reminders, or just
Yes.
the reminders?
For today.
Right. I don't think the daily reminder is going to be your best option in there. Let's just close that. I'll open up from a past webinar. We'll open up a calendar. Just 1 second.
Okay.
Okay. So you've got custom remind window, and you're saying about putting a print in there.
Yes, the daily reminders only.
The which one? Sorry.
I want to have a button like snooze or dismissal. One button for the ability to print the reminders for today only.
Right. The only problem you've got is I wouldn't put it in that window because that reminder window is going to occur. It's going to have different content at different times of the day. So, for example, if I put a reminder in here for 6 p.m., okay, reminder
Okay.
Michael, okay, and I'm going to say I want a reminder 15 minutes before, and that's fine. I don't know what to, but ignore this is the webinar stuff. So, okay, now just so there's our that reminder. But if I bring up the reminder window, it's not going to show it. It's only going to show this one here. So that one's passed, okay, and it's saying it's 6 hours overdue, which is correct from a reminder point of view. That's correct, but it's not going to show the 6 p.m. one yet because we said it's a 6 p.m. appointment or event with a 15-minute reminder. So it's at 5:45. It's going to remind you. So you can't put the print in here because it's not due yet, if you know what I mean. So really what you need to do there is you want to just have a look at the events for a particular day. You use the find events method for a day, and then
Yes,
just that'll give you a queue of reminders, a queue of events, and then remove from that queue any which don't have a reminder required, and that would give you just a list of events on that day which have got a reminder required.
Mm.
But that's the only way
Yes.
you're able to do it. You can't this window, the reminder window, that occurs at different. It basically is monitoring that constantly, and when an event is due, so at 5:45, that would. I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll change that other window. So what time is it now? 16:35. So I'm going to say this appointment is at 16:40. Okay, and I want a reminder, and but I want it in 4 minutes before. Okay, so there's no reminder due at the moment. 16. There it goes. 16:36. It's just occurred. I haven't done anything. It's just popped up. So now that's a perfectly valid reminder. But point being is, its content is dependent on the time of day, and the reminder settings of each event. So you can't use that. That's not going to be any good to you. So you would have to use something like find events, and you can give it a start date and an end date, and so on. That will give you a queue of events. Then I would, if you want to do a report of that, report of only the ones which have got the reminder attribute set, e.g. this.
Yes.
And basically only include those. Or if you just wanted to filter that queue down further, loop through the queue backwards and just go through all the ones, and if the reminder isn't set, then delete that record. And what you'll end up in that queue at the end of it would be a queue of all the events for that day which have got a reminder.
Yes.
So that's the only way you can really do it. But I wouldn't build it into your reminder screen because it's the wrong place for it, if that makes sense. For a list, if you wanted to print a single event, that kind of thing, perfect. Put a print button on, like let's just move one of these. So, there you go. If you wanted to, like, you've got a snooze or you've got an open and so on, but you could put a print button there and print one particular event. That's perfect. But I wouldn't put a print for that list because that content is going to change throughout the day.
Mm. Yes, I understand. Okay.
Okay, that's the first question. And what was your second one?
The second is I have a reserve time and not show the color and the description in reserve times.
How are you loading your reserve times?
Like your example, I didn't change anything. I changed only the version.
Is it in here? I can't remember. This might be an old example.
I don't know if you have an example.
That might be. Let me have a look. Let's close that 1 second. Ba-dum-ba-bum-bum. Come on, webinars. I'll get rid of the Calendar Pro and we'll bring in. I've got writing too. We'll just have a quick look. While that's compiling, we use them for the colorings, like you were saying. So you can see here on this, let's jump to a particular day. And you can see for myself there, I have, get rid of that. I've painted some blue time here. So if I book into that, it's going to say it's a daily staff meeting. Yep. Okay.
Yes. In that, I want to view the color and the description of the reserve time here. Yes.
Yeah. Well, you want to. You can't put description there. You can put the color,
No.
but you can't put description. You can put, like a description as in against a particular time status. What I do there, that's called a block time feature. So we can see there staff meeting, and that is I'll change its color actually. Change it to make it more subtle. So I've put here the daily staff meeting. You can allow, but you show a warning, or maybe allow and ask for a confirmation, and that's the wording it's going to display.
Okay.
So that's it. So you could do that, and then now it's asking for confirmation rather than just a warning. It's saying daily staff meeting, yes or no, that kind of thing. I never say no. So you can do that. That's no problem. What you can't do, because with the colorings, is you can't put wording in the background.
Mm. Yeah, we can't in these lines have a description for the reserve time.
Well, basically, all you're doing here is painting the background color of the actual calendar. You're painting the background color. You're not actually putting events on it. I mean, if we did book an appointment there, so okay.
Yes.
Just, and no, actually, I'm just going to change that to 10 minutes. Okay. Ignore me anyway. Great. Okay. But basically, I'll just resize that. Yeah. So you've got an event. So you can put an event. That's fine. But that would then, you wouldn't want to put an event just to show some kind of meeting or anything, because then if you did want them to be able to book into that time, they would have to click just to the spare space at the side. It's not really practical. So I couldn't use that for something just to show a warning of staff meeting, are you sure, that kind of thing. That's too cumbersome. So you don't want to really do that. Sorry, I'll cancel that. So you don't want to do that. What you want to do is put some colouring in place to identify that it's reserved time. So here I can see that that is their morning break. If I click there, it's going to say, cannot book into the selected time. It's reserved to the break period.
Yes, I've already have this. Why I don't have colors? In the
it's your loading. It might be where you're loading them. Let's go to our Clarion example now. So there's our Clarion example. Does this one have the times in? Just 1 second. Color cells. No. I thought we had an example for it. I really did. Week numbers. Okay. Well, what you want to do? I'll tell you what. I'll open up the source of that schedule it just to show you what I do. Gets a little. Yeah. Just let me open it. I'll show you.
Okay. Before a new version, it's working. After the new version, no.
I think it's. Oh, sorry, I've just closed the wrong thing there. Oh no, that would have been alright. When you see embed point that you're probably loading them.
In data load time stats.
Yeah, you can load the time slots, but it's a definition of them. So you need to load the definition. If you want to do it efficiently, you need to load the definition in init prepare.
Yes, I can.
Okay, so in the init prepare, I load from there block time. Okay, load block time. There you go. Just 1 second. So you can see here, I'm just doing a SQL query into a queue. So I've got my I'm doing it slightly different actually. No,
yes, I have.
Yeah, bad example this.
Definition.
Yeah, it's a bad example. This look, load block time definitions. There we go. Okay, load block time definitions. So I put them into a queue. So I've got them. Then I want to call the add status definition.
Okay, I have it.
Okay, now what that does is, and I'll just open the class just to show you. 1 second. Okay, and I want the equates as well. Right, so each one of these colors, if you will, so let me just reopen that just to show you. We have some predefined statuses, and they are working, not working, and break, if you will.
Yes, I have.
Yeah. So, okay. Now, the predefined ones, working is classed as a 0 status. Non-working is -1, and the version you've got, break, is -2, which it still is. We've just introduced a custom -3. Okay.
Okay.
You've still got the capability in yours though. So basically, I keep the reserves as the minus statuses, if you will. So these are like no, we're going to want to do something like block it or whatever. That is a perfectly good time status, and positive number I'm going to use as a record ID to another table. You don't have to do that. It's just my implementation. Okay. So basically, we add a time status, and the parameters of that. Let me just grab that for you. The parameters are the status number, and I would use positive for that, but you don't have to. You can use anything you like. Status number, the description, the color that you want it to be, the action, and that action can be, and there are predefined actions. There's the action. Allow with warning, post a question, or disallow. Okay. So, yes. Oh, sorry, wrong one. So there's the action. Title, and that's the thing what's going to pop up, and the message. Okay.
Okay. I have it on this.
You would need to add those statuses. So let's say you've got a particular status. I'll go back into here, and I've got one, and we've got this block time. So we'll stick with that staff meeting. Now that I'm using a positive number because I want to get that from a particular table. You might just want to give them constants, which is perfectly fine. The idea is you just need to use a number. So let's say that is record number 4, hypothetically, record number 4. I'm going to load that as a time status of 4, and I'm going to say its title is staff meeting, its description is that wording, its action is one of these. So I've got ask for confirmation, and its color is this yellow, subtle yellow. Okay, so that's my time. So that's my time status definition. So that's what it's going to do here. It's going to, and I've got the record ID. You see the particular record ID, but you would have status 4, whatever, that kind of thing. So you would give it load a definition into the calendar to say particular definition, hypothetically number 4. With this, it's going to have this name, this color, this action, and yeah, basically a window title and a description. That's what it's going to get. Now, when it comes to load, so that gets a definition. So you're going to want to do that in the init prepare after the parent call. And then, of course, you have in your calendar the load time status. Now, I've gone a bit, this is probably a bad example here, but you would have, let me see if there's any of the old commented code for now. Apply calculators, yeah. I don't do this now. I've actually, I'll tell you what I'm doing in a second. Yeah, but what you would have done is for all the custom statuses that you want, like this number 4 staff meeting or whatever, you would go through, you've loaded the definitions, that's perfectly fine. Now what you want to do is to apply the actual add time status to a particular day and time. So you can say add time status to a staff member, to a date, starting at what time, ending at another time, and what status number is it. Now, if it was 4 for staff meeting, you would put 4 there, something like that. So you do need a combination of the two. This one depends on the date range that you are looking at, hence why it's in the load time status, because as you flick through the calendar, I happen to know, if I go back to this appointment system, that my working schedule, my working roster or rota, I do work a Monday and I work at a location. I've got an issue on this load actually, but I happen to know, should give the days up there. Not sure why it's not. Okay, but basically, blue means I'm working at one location, so I can see straight away I'm working at, and I think that's called Kirkby. But that tells me there that I'm working at Kirkby, and there's a break. I'm working there. Oh, I don't work. That's non-working time. In fact, let me just have a look. Sorry, just to give you where the data's coming from, just to give you the idea there. So Mondays, I work blue. I work at Kirkby and Ashfield, 9 AM to 1 PM with a break. Tuesday, Wednesday, I do the same. Thursday, I work at one location in the morning and another location in the afternoon. So if I was to go to a Thursday, and we can see here, I'm colouring blue in the morning to show that I'm at one location, and I'm colouring like a greeny colour, although Wendy's convinced I'm colourblind, but a different colour to identify that I'm working at a different location in the afternoon. So the idea being there, and there is actually a fault there, because what I also do is to put two entities up here, two dummy records, two dummy events to show what the blue and the green are, and I'm not sure why they're not coming up. That's got to be a fault. I'm just going to book an appointment. Kirby. Valuation, there you go, 75-minute. Big appointment, there you go. Don't know why it's not. No. Anyway, it's a fault because I do put two events up there, one to show the blue, one to show the green, just so the user can see, because that remains static, the user can see you work at two locations on a day. But to go back to what we were doing there, I've now got two time statuses, if you will, to control. So I load these. I have a time status record for a working location of one location and a working location of another. So during the initialization, I want to add two status definitions, one for the blue, one for the green, greenish. And then as I'm loading, as I change the days, it will load accordingly. And it can use, at that point, just use the add time status with a particular ID. And the IDs we've already loaded the definitions in. You can, if you want, load the definitions as you're going along, but it's not very efficient. So you're better off just doing it once during the initialization.
Yes.
So I think the fault in yours, if you're not getting the colours, it's going to be because where are we? Sorry, the init prepare. It's going to be because you're calling it with a particular status, i.e., no, not that. You're calling it with a particular status, but it doesn't know what that status is. That definition's not been loaded. That's going to be the fault. So I would have a look at your init prepare and have a look at what that's just calling a thing, but you get the idea. Look at that, make sure that they are loaded, and so on. So we've got a definition of 2 million, whatever, and then the particular record ID. That's just putting it a crazy range, but basically you've added a definition of one particular ID, and then you can add, as you're navigating through your calendar, time statuses using that definition, and it will take on the characteristics of that color, that action, that title, that message, so on and so forth.
Okay, but I have all these, and the messages are okay for time status, but the only problem is the color, nothing else.
Then
It's working.
It's still going to come down to that definition. It's still going to come down to that definition that it's not got it loaded.
Okay.
Yeah, it's going to come down that it hasn't got that definition loaded, because it's these attributes, as we say here, if I show that title, the wording, the action, but of course that color all comes from the definition in the first place. So you do need a definition.
Okay. I will check.
Yeah, it's going to be. I mean, obviously, this is. Well, you're seeing it working in front, and so on. I can put another block time. Let's just say I'm on vacation tomorrow. Okay, so just me. So
update is the same.
So I'm going to say don't allow and show it in red. So I just want tomorrow to be fully booked off. Okay. Oh.
Okay.
Once you, because this system actually allows you to book time off but then actually put yourself back on, maybe on emergency cover, that kind of thing. But you get the idea. So I'm just going to say 7 till 7. There you go. And so if I go to till tomorrow, and there you go, wow. And if I try and book on that, I can't do. I'm off on holiday, vacation, so on and so forth. So basically, it does work, and I can assure you, it's going to come down to the loading of that definition, because it's one thing, I do the loading during the init prepare, as you've just seen, but I also, because these are on different windows and so on, if they go off and do any changes here, what it does is it sends a notification through to that to tell it to reload the definitions. So again, Theo, it's important that them definitions are loaded.
Yes, I understand. Okay.
Okay, cool.
Thank you very much.
Oh, no problem, no problem. Oh, what I was actually going to mention, this is going a bit advanced. I've just changed, well, it's not advanced, but the reason I've just been doing some work on this, and that's why them things are not showing, is I now, just for this application, I'm not saying you have to, it's just giving you ideas and giving other people ideas, just in case they're watching. Got a few attendees here, so that's good. I've got a little source routine. Hang on a second. This is an old version. Calculate time status. Apply load. That's the old code. No wonder there's a funny in it. Right, but basically, I have a calculate time status. It's a little source routine. It goes through and it calculates all these different types of status, because you've got their working schedules. What time did they work? Which days did they work? What breaks did they have within them days? And even down to the locations, that kind of thing. So that's basically, you have the overall practice working hours, if you will. So for example, we could say in here, they only ever work 7:15 in the morning till 6:45 at night. So don't bother showing and which days of the week they do. So anything outside of those working times, that is automatically considered non-working time. So that will show in the grey colour. I set it to show in grey, but you can change that. But I said, okay, show anything non-working as grey. So 6 a.m. in the morning or 8 p.m. at night is going to be non-working. Saturday is going to be non-working, things like that. So it loads that as a first level. Then it loads their working schedule over the top of that. So they might open at 6:45, but I don't start till 9. So then all of a sudden my working day, the grey starts at 9. Sorry, the grey goes up to 9 instead of 6:45. Then you look at any particular block time. So vacations, staff meetings, so on and so forth, and they get layered over the top of that. So rather than keep doing lots of loading and loading and loading, what I've done is I created a little source procedure, and you pass it a queue. Yeah, I have a queue, LQ there, and that definition, what it actually is I've probably got it here so you can probably see. Just might help you, just an idea, that's all.
Okay.
Time, where are we? Merge. There, global time. Global type. So I have a time status. They have the staff ID, because you've got different staff work different times and so on. You got the staff. I have a day, and then I have a status, and I put it as an array of 288, because what that actually represents is, if we look at a calendar, and I don't let them go less than 5-minute intervals. So 5 times 288 is a full working day. It's a full day. There's 14, basically, there's 1440 minutes in a day. So divide by 5, it's 288. So I have an array. Basically, I have an array which is of each one of these, if you will, each slot within a calendar.
Yes.
And basically, so I've got an array, and I've got in the array the status. So I know, is it just non-working because of the practice hours? Is it non-working because of the actual person on a working day? Is it non-working because of vacations and so on? So I load them in layers, and I know which location they are, And all these are dimension 288, as you can see there. So I have that one standard routine, and then the idea is it goes through. So I should have here apply preferences. Yeah, something tells me this is the old one. Oh, there it is. It goes through this queue, this time status queue, and it paints the calendar accordingly, as you would expect. The reason I have doing it that way is I also want, I'm just going to go to today. There you go. I'm going to add another calendar. So I'm going to go here, 10 o'clock, and I can see it's free. If I tried there, it's going to give me a warning saying, you're on a staff meeting, are you sure? If I tried at 9:15, it's going to, sorry, 9, 5 past, 10 past 9, it's going to say, give me that warning. If I was to go here and then change that to 9:10, I don't get the warning, and I should do, because that is now a staff meeting. So I need to be able to have that same information instantly available to me as they are booking an appointment. And I'm also going to add a tab here to give you a live view of the calendar. So there's going to be another calendar on here. And as I change the time, I'll be able to see straight away what their working pattern is. So it could be the person's here and they're saying, can I have an appointment on Friday? Yeah, the 31st. Yeah, that's no problem. And they're booking me in at a particular location where I don't work. Then I need that information readily available here. So the more information you can give the person as they are booking appointments or booking events, the better the quality of the data. So I have a little source routine which queries my setup, so queries the overall working hours, their working schedule, and their block time, and it applies all of them in layers, and I end up with this queue with some dimensions in there of 288, and then I can just instantly know. And there's the class includes there's some methods in there for calc time slot. I think it is calc time slot. Is it? Yeah, calc time slot. You pass it a time and an interval. So 10 o'clock at 5-minute intervals, and it will return you the slot number, and that is basically the array element number that you want. So I don't know if that helps you. Maybe that's a whole other webinar, a whole other discussion, but that's the idea behind it.
Okay.
Okie dokie. Right, we diverted off a little there. Sorry about that. So what time are we on? We're just over the hour mark. Got a couple of other questions. Alejandro, where's Alejandro? Are you there?
Yes, I'm here. How
Hi.
are you?
Yes, good. Yourself?
Very good, very good. Thanks to God. Hey, can I share my screen? I need to show you something, please.
Yep, sure, okay. Yep.
13?
Yeah, 1 second. Just making notes for the recording. Yep.
Okay. Well, I have a few questions. The first one is, look, when I open my window and you open the delay that it have when the docking pane try to resize all the panes. Did you see it?
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know what's going on there. Obviously, we need a lot more information. So, but yes, I get the idea. What?
Look this one. Look this one too. And you see?
Right.
Maybe.
Yeah.
So it's too slow when try to resize all the panes. So how I can solve this kind of situation, this kind of behavior?
It really comes down to the content. how many panes, the creation of the panes we can look at to speed up. We've mentioned in the past, we are optimizing all of the controls. So we've optimized the report control, the creation of the columns within a report control. We've done that. We are in the process of doing the command bar, which will help and so on. But it really comes down to the actual content. I mean, you've got 3 property grids there, but I don't know how you're loading that data in. So if you depends how you're loading that data and the definitions in, that would slow down. If they take longer to load, then the screen's going to take longer to load. What I would say is I would only load, which embed point are you initializing the content? Like the report control or the property grids? Which embed point do you use?
Okay. Let me open this app. Okay. So
From that window, how is the data related?
no, I open this every data using a prop SQL. So each by one.
No, I meant does the selected row cause the property grid to change? That kind of thing?
I don't understand what you mean, but let me open the window. Yes.
Okay, just go back to it running. Go back to your screen.
Yes.
Okay, so select a different row in the report control. Okay, do the property grids change?
Here?
No, the content of the property grids. So you've got contacts. Okay. Where do they change? When do they change?
Yes. When it's changed?
Is that data related to the report control? No?
No. If you change something, it's doesn't anything.
Right. Okay. That's fine. Then, okay, let's go to your window, your Clarion window.
Yes. Okay.
Okay. Now, let's go from there. Close that, and go to extensions. So the report control. Okay.
Yes.
Double click that.
Yes.
And options. Data load. Use global.
I am overriding the option. No.
Okay. How do you load the report control?
Let me show you. Yes, let me show you, please. This is my way. I load the prop SQL statement. Okay. I create the columns. And I fill using the data binding.
Okay. Well, first of all, create the columns. That's now been optimized. So are you using the old way or the new way?
No, the new way.
Can you show me just to check?
Yes, what you want to see.
Where do you create the columns?
Okay, let me,
Oh, create columns there. Okay.
I call your method. I do add the columns. Let me go to this routine. I call the add column. Okay.
No, that's the old way.
Sorry?
That's
No. Wait. So after that, add the column, and after that, I call the set option.
Okay.
And here, I do this where.
But that's after.
Add column.
Where's that called again then?
There we call the create column. I call the add column routine.
Yeah, but you want the properties set before the parent call of create columns. You're doing
Yes.
you're doing it afterwards. You want to do it
Okay.
before.
Okay, I will call before the parent call.
Yeah, set your properties in the queue before the parent call. That's only one example, but that's one of the new optimizations we've just done. And you want to create the column and set all the properties straight away as fast as possible. And what you're doing is you're creating the column. Then you're creating the column with the default properties. Then you're creating the physical column in the parent call. Then you're going to change the properties afterwards. And it just would be faster if you set all the properties before the parent call.
Okay, I will try it. Don't worry.
Okay, so that's one idea. So the load, that's only the columns. So what about the data? How do we load the data?
Here, and then.
Oh, sorry, just one more time, sorry.
Oh, sorry. Yes, the delay. Here, I am looking through my SQL result. Okay.
Okay.
So now, for that, I go here. Sorry. Let me show you. Yes, here. Normally, is this part.
Right. Okay. You know, it would be better. That's a lot of work. You'd be better to create the template will create you a group, and then you just prime the content of the group and have it create the role for you. You're doing a lot of work there, and yeah, you're doing a lot of work for no reason.
No. Yes, have a reason, a specific reason, because I create all of this dynamically. So I create it from, for example, a simple SQL query. Okay, so it create me everything. Okay, so this is the specific reason. But it's okay. I will check and I will do something. I will disable the report control.
Well, what embed point is that? Is that what embed point are you doing that?
Sorry?
Which embed point is this?
Where I call the load data.
Yeah.
Of event open window. Yes. But I will do something very easy.
Well, just if you go to the
I will say I will say don't load data at start. Okay.
Right. Okay.
Just this. Let me close it first. Okay. Let me close this up. What? Let me close it. Wait. Okay, let me go here again. Okay. Muito.
Have to really speed. We'll have to hurry up a little because we do need to finish at a particular time today.
Yes. Okay.
Just while you're compiling that, Jesper. Jesper's asked a question. Some time ago, we showed a collaboration between the report control and the property grid. Is that done? It's not. It's done from an example type of point of view, where it's just taking data out of a report control and putting it into a property grid. But from an automated point of view, like the calendar does it, where it can update the property grid, but the report control doesn't at the moment. It is still scheduled to be done, so don't worry about that. But at the moment, you would have to do it manually. So that's one other question just out of the way at the moment. But yeah, the calendar does have that link where you can just literally click on a link, click on a tick in the template and say update a property grid and take updates from the property grid, like an editing place, if you will. And the calendar has that. The report control will have it, but it hasn't got it at the moment.
Oh, I did something wrong here, but I disabled the load data from another point. It's okay, Andy. I will test.
Well, let me show you on here. One of the things that you would be on yours. If you go to
it was the update contact. Sorry, this is the window that we are working on. This. So right. I need to.
Okay.
Yes, I have to tick that.
You see, one of the tips there is to get the window open to the user as fast as possible, and then load your data.
Load the data.
Yeah. So you have got settings in there, and there's an embed point, and it's in the docking pane. Docking pane content management, I think it is. Class. Okay. I'll show you the embed point in a second, and in there you have one called window docked. That it would be a better embed point.
Okay, let me go here. Yes.
So if you go down to you contract them all, that's it better. Yes. Go to docking pane, content management. Yes. No, the next one. No, that one.
Sorry.
That one, and down, and you would have one. Scroll a bit further. Window docked.
Yes.
Now I would do your loading in there. because yes, the window's opened, you've got it in window open at the moment, but at that moment in time, it hasn't told the parent, the docking pane manager, that it's opened. At that point, that will have done. So I wouldn't do your loading until there. That will get the window opened faster, your panes displayed, the window opened and docked, and then you can start loading your content afterwards.
So in a short word, I can load here everything.
Yes, that would be the better option, definitely.
Okay, perfect. I will test it.
Yeah,
don't worry.
That's the idea, because you want to get, as I say, you want the window to open and the panes to be initialized, but no content, just panes to be initialized and defined, and then tell the parent that that is now docked and opened, and then after that, then when the parent knows of it, it comes back and tells the class, okay, you are now docked. So it's all about getting the handle to that window as fast as possible, and that's what we're doing there.
Okay. The second question.
Yep.
One thing. I will show you another one. Let me see here. I'm working here in another app, and I did two things. The first one, I made a pop-up here. Okay, I will show you which is the pop-up. Oh, sorry. I put a button here.
Okay.
I insert a control pop-up.
Okay.
Too simple, just for test. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
I just compile. I put another one using a code, but this is the most important. Okay. This is the code, and this is the button. Okay.
Yep.
Simple. Okay. But I want to add the same thing here in this main procedure. Okay, so I added this pop-up extension, okay, near the text bar. Let me close it. Everything the same. I went to the toolbar menu. I added a new button. I went to the embed. I insert a new control code extension, really, with the same test and no more. That's okay?
Okay.
Okay. So, but something very strange is the behavior, because when I compile and run this app, it explodes. I don't know where, and I don't know why.
That's
really.
That's hyperactive.
No. I put it to try to find the error. Where is it? But I didn't get lucky with this. So I will do something easier, only to be faster. I will delete this, okay? And I want that
the button should make sense. Okay.
Do you want I delete the button?
No. It's just if you don't press a button, the code won't execute. So you don't need to get rid of the code. But go on.
Yes, but if I delete this part, no, sorry. If I delete the pop-up extension, so I have here. Sorry, it was just a test, the same test that I did in the other app. I did here. So I delete here the local extension and it worked fine. So I want, if it's possible, that you guide me how to do it.
Yeah, I'm just wondering on the AppFrame, can you just add that extension again? Just let me take a look at something.
Yes. Pop-up control.
Yep. Pop-up, yeah.
Option.
Yeah, I'm wondering where it's creating the control because that's the application frame, isn't it?
Sorry?
That is on the application frame, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, I need to check that. Let me have a look. Just 1 second.
Yes, sure.
Right, okay, I've made a note because normally where I have you add a control to the application frame, it will request how to initialize itself, and I'm not seeing it do that there. So let me check that and report back next week because I have a feeling that's not working on the application frame correctly. So let me check that for you.
Okay, so maybe it's just a question, no? Maybe a good solution is create in a window and run in other thread. Maybe.
And then pass them. That would work. Definitely, that would work. And you just pass it a message.
Okay. Let's go to test it. So let's go to create a.
Well, we're really running short on time at the moment. If you want to test that, it will work because that's how we do it in the example application. But I will also check for you for next week the application frame. Is that okay?
Okay. No problem. Can I show you the last thing?
Okay. We really are cutting it fine on time, but
yes,
okay.
Yes, very quickly. Maybe you have a solution in the mind. Look, I open this one, but I delete the docking pane because you know the problem. I try to use the resize window, yes, of Clarion. These controls are not resizing, and I don't know why.
What the Clarion resize?
Yes.
Well, they definitely do resize on the Clarion. Our example apps show that. What strategy do you use?
Let me show you. If you want, I can send you an example of this window.
Well, let's just. Yeah, I mean, there's no reason why. Just a standard resize won't resize them correctly.
Let me open. Oh, sorry. This. Today my machine is too slow. When you are hurry, my machine is slow.
Always the case.
Really sorry. Maybe it's Windows updating. I don't know. Oh. So let's go here. What do you want to see? The window, the extension?
Okay, which window is it?
This is the that I showed it before, the calendar.
Okay, yeah, so go into the window, please. Oh.
I try to use the resize of Easy Resize to take a look. So.
Okay, go into the, yeah, that's fine. You got the extension.
Okay. Yes.
And go into the Easy Resize.
Yes.
Grab that. Go on to resize. I don't see any problem on that. Okay, that's
just with this.
As a test, just can you delete that? Is this a copy?
Yes.
Okay, delete that
this.
and just add the Clarion resize, just as a test.
Yes. This one?
Yep. Okay. Is it on there? Oh, is it? I'm still
this
waiting.
Is staying with us. Huh? Yes.
Okay.
Now?
Just say resize. So very simple.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
For that.
Okay. Let me close it. Do you recommend me use a host window for use the docking pane?
I do in my applications, yeah.
Okay, perfect. Sorry. So let's go here. Can you see it?
Can you resize the window? Okay.
Yes, it's like it's working. No, like I expect, but maybe it's my fault.
Well, let's look at your screen design.
Yes.
And how big is the screen? Oh, sorry, I'm just trying to. I've got things in the way. Oh, 1 second. I'll fold that back. Okay. And how big is the screen? The definition.
Yes.
Okay. Scroll down on the properties. Fine. Have you got any other code there handling? I mean, this is just simple resizing. So no, something is manipulating the size in there. You just run our example, so you've got something else happening on that.
Yes. I just delete the docking pane because
that's not to do with the docking pane. No, there's
sorry. No, it's when I delete the docking pane because this window I use it with the docking pane. Did you remember where we try to solve the issue? Okay.
But what I'm saying is that window at the moment, okay,
Yeah.
that window. Go onto the calendar, okay,
Mm-hmm.
and go on the properties and scroll down the properties
Yes.
and the height. Say height full.
Height. Yes. Default.
No, full.
Full. Sorry.
Okay. Now, okay, that format. No, not the width, just the height.
Mm-hmm. Okay. There.
Yeah, but you've got the full on the width. Undo that on the properties.
Sorry.
Okay, so just the height. Okay, now have you got any other extensions? Because there's got to be something else manipulating. There's got to be something else changing those attributes, because that's just standard Clarion resizing and control. So there must be something else which is manipulating those properties.
Let me see. I will. No, not really. Not really. No. Set property. Oh, sorry. No, this is only if I press an option. Event function. No.
Okay, compile that and run that, and that's that. And
Okay.
you said there Clarion to resize to do it full.
Yes. Yes, it's like it's better.
So the width, it's taking the sizing into account of the window. You have to send me. That's not anything to do with the controls. That's a Clarion resize issue. I mean, you can send me an example and I will gladly take a look, but that's not to do with the controls. The controls will just go in the place that they are defined.
Yes.
So something else there is changing their defined size.
Yes, getting the control of the control.
So if you can put that into a single example, then send it to me and I'll diagnose and we can cover that next week. But yeah, something is something's changing the attributes, the position of that, because there's no reason why that shouldn't resize correctly. We have that in our example applications. We can see from that window there something else is going on there.
I will try to create a new window with the same.
Have you still got panes, or are they just command bars? Oh, command bars at the top and the side.
Yes, a command bar.
That's fine. Yep.
Okay. Thank you, Andy. I let you go. Sorry for.
Oh, it's okay. I'm going to quickly. That's fine.
Much.
Do send me an example of that. I am intrigued. I will have a look. Promise.
Yes. Yes. Sure.
Okay.
Sure. See you. Bye. Thank you.
Bye. So we've got to really hurry up. So I've probably got time for one more. Leo has had his hand up. I know we've got another. I really do apologise, but we are really over time on it already. Leo, are you there?
Yes, I am.
Hi, Leo. So you sent an email through to do with track bar, is that correct?
Yes.
So if I open up part of this, 1 second. Oh, wrong one. Okay, so you have a track bar.
Yes.
And if you click on empty space, so
Yes.
you're saying maybe one of these here, around here.
Yes.
If you have an empty space, the date scale, report control, can I get the date and number of empty blocks? For an example, I have 24 blocks for each day. Okay, so it's like 1 per hour, something like that?
Yes, 1 per hour.
Okay, now to get the date, it's going to work off your scale. So imagine if you show 24 blocks per day and you have 2 days on show, in total you have 48 blocks.
I know this, yes.
Yep, so the first block is midnight of the first day,
Yes.
and the 25th block is midnight of the second day.
Okay, I know this, but I don't which embedded point can I get this?
Okay, sorry, got you. Okay, so we should have block selected. So you have an embed point, block selected.
Yes,
That will pass you the.
yes, but there is no block.
Okay.
Yes,
Of course,
it's the empty space. It's nothing there, no?
right. I understand. Yep.
You know, I want to put new event just there.
Well, if you double click,
Yeah.
there is. Just trying to think. Trying to remember the actual method. 1 second. I'm going to find it in here. Just 1 second.
No problem. Take your time.
Okay. How do we do it? I'm sure that lets you. Wrong one. Okay, this one.
No, date scale is, but this is the same.
It's the same. It's just we want to we grab that. I do this on something else. It's to do the hit test.
It's no problem if you send me a piece of code or just the hint where what embedded.
Well, I'm just seeing if there is from the track what you call a hit test. Won't be 1 second. Track control. It's not a track block. There isn't a hit test. Okay. Boom, boom. Will that help us? We get the X and Y of a hit test. Hit test is when you mouse down. We've got track position, that's no good.
Yes.
Oh, we do. We have a hit test dot track position. Okay. New block. Yeah, okay. This isn't perfect, but let's see if this will help you. So report control. Straight past it. New block. Okay, so that gets what row, what, oh, we'll put the row out as well.
Okay, this is enough. And here is no problem.
Well, the report control doesn't include a double click for the track bar. Okay, so what we have to do, and you can see via the code, is I have to trap the amount of time, and we have a property called a double click rate. So you can fine tune that, but it's not perfect. So here, if I click once, that's nothing. I'll go, let's move that there. So I want to double click and I should get about 35. I double click there, but there's no position.
You get the row, but no the block.
Why? Dot track position. Should do. We get the hit test. Returns the X and the Y as a hit test info. Okay. Track position should come back and tell us. Long. So it's not. No, it's not that. Gets the row. It's that. It's not coming back and telling us where it is, and it should do. That track position there. We're getting what block, what row, as you can see, and it should give you. That track position should tell us where in the track it is being pressed. Returns the current timeline. No, not that. Yeah, timeline within a track control item. Item. Add a block. Simply adding click the mouse on a track. So that's exactly what we want. Hit test dot track info. X and Y. Get the X and the Y, X pos and Y pos. Yep. Should be one of the same, but we'll try it, see if it makes a difference. No. Oh, I just pressed. That's. I don't think you're going to do it. I'm dependent on that information being given back to us,
Mm-hmm.
and it's not. What we can just do. Yeah. 415 nothing. 161. Hang on, we are getting the hit test that we want. If I go there, 161. Ignore 59. If I go across a bit, so the 59 is the row. So the hit test is working. What about the double click? Okay. Leo, let me check that then, because we are getting what we want, but the track position isn't telling us that. Okay. No, you see the track position. We're getting the X and the Y, perfect.
Yes.
And then what you're supposed to do, so we get the hit test of X and Y. That should give us an object back, which of course it will. And we've got our hit test. what I'm not getting there is if we're stopping that immediately, why don't we get the track position? So we've got that.
Yes.
We know that is correct. Track. Where is it? Track position? Yeah, position. And if this comes back as 0, then it's a fault in the control itself. Oh, what have I missed? Oh, yeah. Four, 6, yeah, 204, hit test, 0. So it's not converting. That's a fault on the report control itself. You'd have to report that to CodeJock. A reporter to CodeJock can say the track position is failing. Because if we look at their help, okay, we get the hit test. You've seen what we're doing there. So we get the hit test, you pass it an X and a Y, we've got that. It brings you back, oh, wrong one. There, that one. It brings you back that piece of information. Block, column, HT returns specific part of the report control at a given. So we'll have a look at that just to check what that is. We're supposed to be able to get the item, the row, and the track position. I say HT, what does that give us? There's our object, and it gives us a free back. Group box, header, report area are unknown. Now it's just going to give us that. It's not going to help us. If I click there, 409 at, this time it's a 0. I click here, that's a free. If I go on the header, it's a 1. So it's telling us that we are in part of the report control, which is correct. So it's telling us that, but it's not that track position isn't working. We've got that back, but we need that working. And without that, it won't. We can't tell you where it is.
Okay.
Just 1 second. Okay, that's going to return 0, which we've already seen. If I click there, it's giving it for an item. That's 20, about there, 23, 22, 23, 22. Right, so it's doing it for an item. Return the current timeline position within a track control item at a given X and Y coordinate. Oh, crikey. Well, that's not good. That's not going to help us.
There is nothing. If we click in empty space.
No, because we're not on an item. And because we're not on an item, it's not going to tell us whereabouts in the track we are, which is kind of what we need.
Okay, it's not possible.
1 second. Just looking, you can see clamped by position. I'll have to do some more digging, Leo. I understand now why we're not getting why we're not getting that back. So I understand that. Yeah, let's take that out. Take that out. Take that out. So yes, you would get that.
If you will have a time, take a look, but it's not so urgent. No?
Okay. What else was on there? So you've got that. Can we? If possible, no. If I double click on a block, can I get its properties? Well, yes, you should. You should be.
Okay, I saw this. I send you another update.
Oh, you did. Sorry, yes. Update
Yes.
to previous.
Yes, I do all this. Only is a question if I may have on the right click on menu. I want to have submenu, pop-up submenu.
I've got you. Okay, right click. Let me just have a quick look at that.
If you have some piece of code.
Well,
just today I put in the production this dispatching system for with date scale.
yeah, I understand. I close that. Have we got on this example any right click? Okay, so we just put insert. Always enabled. That'll do. Just so we can see. So let me just see. So the right click will. Did I not save the?
Now this event bother you, no?
I didn't save that. Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Right. 1 second. Yeah. So you just want on the right click there.
Yes. And I want to on insert open submenu.
Oh, okay. Open a submenu. Okay. Well, that's been.
Pop-up submenu.
What you would have to do there is on the right click accepted. Right. Oh, accepted.
Right click.
Oh, can't see for looking. Row right click there. Row right click. Right click accepted. So in here,
Yes.
you would have the selection. So you would have a case statement on the selection.
Yes. Okay. I know this. I do this.
Okay. Well, then you would want. I can't remember what the actual wording is. It's something like Popup, and then you can put your own. Crikey. What's the help on this? I don't really use Popup that much. I'm going to cheat. 1 second. We've already got a pop-up. Something like that. Pop icon, ampersand insert. So let's see if we can get something like that, or do you want a menu within a menu on the pop-up?
Yes, I want to, when I select the insert tool, that I open a new submenu.
Well, that's what I just. Yeah, so there, so I've got insert, and then I press that, and then I've got my other pop-up there. So you just want to do your own pop-up to do.
Yes, this is okay. But it will be nicer if I have like a tree, you know.
Oh yes, definitely.
It looks much better.
It's a bit more work, but oh no, because you want it to open at a particular point. I was going to say a nice command bar pop-up command bar would be really nice.
Mm-hmm.
But that is a bit more work to do. We can't do that now, but you could do that. You could have, because the command bar obviously has pop-up windows and so on and so forth, pop-up menus, so you could accomplish that via a command bar.
Okay, I will get command bar from your store, no problem.
Oh, do you not have command bar?
No, I don't have, but
Oh,
it's
sorry.
no problem.
Well,
No, it's no problem.
Are you sure?
Yes, no problem.
I've got to say, I didn't realise. I just work on the tool set, so yeah, I forgot. Okay, yeah, the command bar does support. I might want to just check that. I tell you what, don't get it just yet. I mean, obviously, I do want you to get it, but wait. Let's next week's webinar. We'll do that first, and we'll actually do it where we've got more time because we are really out of time now.
Okay.
We'll do it next week, and we'll add a pop-up because the command bar has floating pop-up menus, obviously located menus, and that's what you would really want. You would want like a floating pop-up menu.
Yes. Okay. Nice. Very nice.
Okay. Right. I realise we've got other question. I do apologise, but I really am over time, so I do have to wrap it up now.
I was right on the. I asked you for this every time for this drag and drop.
Drag and drop.
Two report control.
I will look at it. I will email you tomorrow morning. I promise. Oh no, you message me tomorrow morning, and we will talk about it. Okay.
Okay. No problem. Thank you, everybody.
No problem. Until next week. Apologies for everybody who's not got answers. There's a couple, but yeah, we are desperately over time. So apologies, everybody. Until next week. And I've made a note of who it is, so we will come to you first next week, so you're not waiting.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye. Bye.